Welcome to Samurai Kennel.
I've been on a mission.
He thought what he used to say is they can do anything any other dog can do, and then whip them as well.
What up, world? It's your boy Andre Williams at Samurai Kennel. And that was Mr. Richard Stratton speaking on John P. Colby on his thoughts on the American Pit Bull Terrier. I can leave the link for that entire interview, which was done on Bully Badass TV. But I wanted to show you again, because I've gotten a lot of people's feedback on the way I want to use my dogs. But here's just some shortcuts of what I interpret that to mean for me and for my line of dogs. What that means for me is, why would we not move them into a light that is considered legal and responsible? Because at the end of the day, you know what, matter of fact, I'm going to let Pimp C go ahead and tell y'all exactly what that means to
You
me.
get locked up, you lose, and your family lose.
Right.
Your kids lose, your mama lose, everybody around you lose. So ain't nothing cool about it. Second thing is, I got to see who was really who in my life, personally. I got to see what side my bread was buttered on and who was gonna be real and who wasn't.
Right.
It's a handful of rappers that wrote me while I was locked up, and they wasn't the ones I thought was gonna write. First thing off the top.
Out. Enough. Sick him. Out. Out. Enough.
Watch me, McKenna, with the camera. What up, y'all? Let's get right to it. First, I want to give an update. To Cruz Ross, please check your email. I got your route number in your email. To Mr. Timothy Jernigan, you was one of my other winners. Make sure that you send me your address and information so I can get you your winnings from the last drawing. Okay, y'all. So I'm going to get into this. I'm going to try to keep it real nice and greasy for y'all. Y'all know the story is coming up last, but I need to address what I need to address first. First and foremost, Samurai Kennels breeds game-bred American Pit Bull Terriers. However, I'm trying to make sure that my bloodline can do the work for the types of things I put at the beginning of my videos. So if you want to see what direction I'm breeding towards, that's the kind of stuff I'm breeding towards personally. So if you're interested in my program, that's the kind of stuff that my dogs will bring into a program that you're trying to build. Or if you want to know where I'm going, that's the direction I'm going in. There are other directions you can go in, and I will be making a Top Kennels of 2023 video in the upcoming weeks. As I said, your feedback on that is always appreciated, and I will always use your feedback to help make the final decisions on who gets where on the listing. So your input is important. Big bro, I seen you in the comments on the last video, and I appreciate it a lot. Also, to my big brother Walter Bryant, I appreciate everything, big bro, as well as to Aaron McFarland, Art, and Luke. We still a team. I just been out of pocket. I appreciate all you fellas. Now, we're going to move on to the story. Today's story is going to be about my dog Shadow. Now, the reason why I feel Shadow is important is number one, Shadow was another black dog that I own, and he looked very similar to the dog Hendrix, which is pictured here in the video. Also, in Pelican Bay's recent video, he talked about why do we not breed or keep curs, and I just wanted to elaborate upon that too, because Shadow was definitely another cur, but I want to talk about that and kind of give y'all my perspective on that. Also, my answer to that question is there's enough dogs that are proven that are not curs to breed to, that I don't necessarily need to breed to curs. However, the story of Shadow might give you some light on that. So while I was out walking one of my dogs paperless, I was in the 12th grade getting ready to graduate. And at this time, there was a black dog left by the garbage dump on the street where I grew up at. Now that black dog was emaciated and he had half of an ear for one of his ears. And so with that dog looking like that, I knew he was a game dog or a pit bull. Like, he had that look, but I didn't know what he was gonna do to the puppy I was walking at the time. And so he came out and he followed me home. And so I took him and chained him up, because back then, you know, like, I knew what this was. This was a throwaway or a bait dog. That's what it was. So I took him home and I kept him. I want to see what he was gonna do. And sure enough, he got hold of one of my dogs and put some work on one of them. And this was not intentional. Like, it was a chain accident. Like, the puppy got loose and ran over to him, but he grabbed that puppy up and did work on him. And so I was like, okay, this dog got a little spunk to him. I didn't know nothing about this dog. So flash forward a couple months, and my cousins, they saw me walking this dog Shadow. And just a quick side note, I had some homeboys that was they're from another country prior to coming here, so they have some different ideas on taking care of animals. So they went ahead and cropped the other ear for me. So Shadow ear now has both ears cropped, but my cousin was still able to identify this dog based on his markings, that it was his throwaway. And what ended up happening was Shadow had been tested against his brother 8-Ball. And so during the game test, 8-Ball had curried out Shadow to the point where Shadow peed on himself. And so they was talking junk, and of course I succumbed to the trash talk and agreed to run it back with them between Shadow and 8-Ball. Now all I did with this dog was take him to my house, feed him, and saw that he had some spunk after he jumped on one of my dogs that he was unfamiliar with. And so after sitting on the chain for a couple months and going back into 8-Ball, when I released him, Shadow drove in 8-Ball so hard that he carried him back about 3 feet, picked him up in his mouth and shook him. Like, shook him real hard. And so we let them roll for a little bit, and that was the end of it. 2 days later, 8-Ball was dead. Now, I'm not gonna say Shadow killed him, but I really do believe that the damage that was done in the chest of 8-Ball is what took him up out of here. And mind you, Shadow was a cur, and 8-Ball was the chosen game dog in this situation. You do what you want to with that story, and that's that. Once again, it's been Samurai Kennels. If y'all rock with me, go ahead and like, follow, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think. We out.